Hello everybody, I'm Andrew Barris. We're coming to you today from Granbury Live. I'm flying solo today. Lee's second team will not be joining me. She's been doing one of her yearly events called Warrenton, where she takes the truck full of loaded art and then she goes down there and sells it. And I understand it's a wonderful event, so if you ever get a chance, go down and see it. We wish Elise well, and we miss her here, but she'll be back soon. Wanted to come to you today on a couple of things that we've got going forward. We've got the Opera House is something I want to talk about today and get you guys up to speed on the amazing project that's going on over there. We've got our last production coming up inside Granbury Live, which is called Lucky Stiff, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And most of you all don't know that show, so I want to explain a little bit about that. We've got our season ticket campaign that's going on, and we've got some fun stuff there. We've got some great things on the square that are going on as well coming up. The Historic Granbury Merchants Association, which does a wonderful job here in Granbury on the square, promoting all of the events here and getting folks to the downtown area. I've got two specific events that are coming up. Both of them are great, so I kind of want to touch on those. And then there's an organization that we partner with that we love that does an event as well called Divine Wine, which is karaoke, and we have a good time there. So these are kind of things that I want to talk about today, and hope everybody can get up to speed with us. So let's touch base first on what the Opera House is doing at this point. As you all know, the Opera House is scheduled to finish up at the end of this year. We continue to get incessant questions about whether or not that's actually going to occur. I'm over there on a daily basis, and the folks over there from Scott Tucker Construction are doing an amazing job. Rob over there, who's the foreman, has just kicked this thing into high gear. The front lobby is done. We've got the theaters built. All of it's framed. It's now going to be finished with drywall in the next few days here. So by the time this thing airs, it will have been finished. We start painting next week. All the theatrical things from the AV standpoint are starting to go in now, which is wonderful. If you don't know the layout, what we did originally was the building was about 100 feet long by 50 feet wide. And so we ended up extending to the south about additional 67 feet and then making a little bit wider at 110 feet. So the space that we were able to create in the backstage area is incredible. It's got dressing rooms, it's got a green room, it's got star dressing rooms, it's got a rehearsal space that's wonderful, it's got costume construction, it's got costume storage, and it's got plenty of facilities in the back for building set pieces and building properties. It's got a full basement that's downstairs, which on the original plans we didn't have, but we were able to get that in there, which we're very excited about. So it not only allows for a full orchestra to be involved, which we really would like to have in the future, it also allows for different set pieces to be able to come through the floor. You've got trap doors that will open up and people will come through there, or pieces of scenery will lift out of the floor. It's also got capabilities of having tracking of set pieces going on and off. The great thing about theater these days is that it's all based on speed. Right, we have, as a society, grown accustomed to not, waiting. Back in the day, in the theater business, it used to be that a big grand draped curtain would drop down, and they'd put what they call an oleo act downstage of that, while the set was being changed upstage. So if you look at some of the Rodgers and Hammerstein pieces, Oklahoma, South Pacific, Sound of Music, that's generally how those things were done. They had enormous set pieces that were upstage with that grand drape, and then they would open that up. But people don't like that anymore. They want to see the scene changes in front of you. They like the speed with which the theater business goes. So transitions are real key. So we've built this facility to make sure that transitions can happen as quickly as possible and in front of the audience. So we're excited about that. It's also got, what we tried to do in the facility was we really wanted to make sure that we were able to retain the original spirit of the building, which was built in the late 1880s. It was opened up in the 1880s, and it's a Victorian style. Originally it was Victorian, and over time it became a feed store, and there was a vaudeville stage that was in there. Was a bar at some point, and then in 1968 it became a full theater as Joanne Miller came in and did a renovation. They opened that up in 1973, and then successfully have done theater in there for a long period of time. So we wanted to retain that spirit, and in doing so we wanted to keep that Victorianism that's in there. Not an opulent Victorianism, but something that is still Victorian, and I think we've had some success in that respect. So the front lobby has a little bit more curvature to it than we've seen in the past. It's a little bit more open spaced. We obviously wanted to make sure that we were able to get all the ADA requirements in there, so we have more than one restroom. It's no longer on stairs. It's able to have, you can walk right in and go right into the restrooms. There are 8 for the women and there are 5 for the men. So I think that will satisfy all the customers' needs at that point. 2 concession stands in the facility, a full service elevator that goes up to all 3 floors. So we feel like it's going to accommodate for the next long period of time all the theater needs, and we'll have room to grow as well. We're doing 3 events that are coming up that we can mention here. We've got one on the 17th of October that is going to be a sneak peek for folks that are coming in from the donor side and taking a look. We're doing some naming rights in the facility, and those folks that have been invited to that will come in. We've got a little show that we're putting on. And then on the Tuesday of that week, which I believe is the 22nd, we'll be doing a walkthrough for our season ticket holders and for the Opera Guild that's been so supportive of the organization and the building. And then that next Saturday, we'll have an open house for everybody involved to come and just walk through the facility before it gets finished up, so you all can see exactly what the building's going to be in the future for us. So we're excited about those. So put those on your calendar. If you get an invitation for those, please come and see us. We'll put on a little play for you. It'll be awesome to see how the facility is going to be used. We'll try to highlight that during that entire thing to make sure that you see this is what a Juliet balcony is. Someone will be singing from that. This is in the front lobby. You'll see a little orchestra quartet that's playing up there. You can also see on the stage maybe some Shakespeare potentially you'll see, and then down the pit maybe you'll see an orchestra conductor that is training up some of the folks that will be playing in the band. Maybe in the back at the stage area you'll see hair and makeup people and somebody working in costumes, and up in the rehearsal space perhaps you'll see somebody doing some dancing or something like that. So come and see those shows if you get a chance to. It'd be wonderful to have everybody come through before the facility gets finished. It's interesting for us because we do it on a daily basis, so we kind of know every square inch of it. But for folks that haven't had a chance to do that, I think it'd be an awesome opportunity. So please come and see us there. Also, we plan on opening up for the Granbury Theater Company Gala event, which is a fundraiser. That's going to be on the 5th of December. So put that on your calendars. We'll be doing an amazing event. We've partnered with the city on this and with the Opera Guild, and all 3 entities want to make sure that this is the best party that Granbury has seen for a long, long time, respectfully with all the other good parties that go on here. We're going to have a red carpet, black tie event, champagne. We'll have grandstands out in front of the Opera House, close down Pearl Street. Make sure that we've got a lot of dignitaries there, and a lot of the press will be there, and we'll put on a production that night. We're opening with A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens' story. And it should be pretty magnificent. We've got bands all over the place, lots of community support. Lots of folks from the community are going to be performing inside the Opera House prior to the event that night. So we're excited for that. So the tickets for that show are going to be $100. If you're a season ticket holder currently, then you can get your reduced price at $80. So please call us. We'd love to have as many people as possible come to the show. And if you're not coming to the show, we'd love to have you in the grandstands. We'll have grandstands in the parking lot in front of the courthouse, and that will be right next to the red carpet that's over across Pearl Street going into the theater. So that's going to be an amazing night. And then the next night, we've got First Night, which we usually do as our first night production. And that officially is when the theater company will open its season inside the Opera House. That's on the 6th. It's invited for all season ticket holders. We've got 309 seats in the facility, and we'd like to have all of the season ticket holders be there for that night. It as well is going to be a black tie event. So we'll have champagne and wine and cheese and blah, blah, blah to have a really good time together. So I think it's going to be a fun 2-night event to launch this Opera House that everybody's been looking forward to. We play that Christmas Carol production from the 6th all the way through the 21st. So we've got 19 or 20 shows that we'll be putting in there. And then once we close down for Christmas, then we'll open up the new year on New Year's Eve with 2 performances of Noises Off. It's a hilarious comedy, I think one of the funniest comedies out there. And that night will be just an amazing event. We've got 2 performances, one at 6:30 and one at 10:30. And at the 10:30 version, we actually stop the show. Balloons will drop. We'll have a countdown, the whole thing, and wherever we pick up after singing Old Lang Syne, then we go on with the show. So that's going to be a great night too, so come and join us. It'll be a lot of fun in there. Okay, so this is our last production that's coming up inside Granbury Live. We've loved to be here in this facility. We're going to miss it. It's been a nice little home. We've got our gallery, which of course this is the reason we generally get together, is to talk about the gallery. That will be coming to an end very soon here, and we'll definitely miss what we've considered to be a really good opportunity of conjoining two different art forms. It's been very interesting to see the folks that come in specifically for the gallery who are now interested in performance art, and the same thing vice versa. So it's actually done exactly what we'd hope it would do, and we'll miss that a little bit. We also will miss this little space. This has been a lot of fun. We've been here a year, and Lucky Stiff will be our last production inside here. It's a very intimate space. It's very homey, and we've been thrilled and pleased to be able to come in here and do some shows in here. So Lucky Stiff is an incredibly funny musical comedy. Actually, I'd say it's more of a musical farce. It's very much like a production that we did last year in Cash on Delivery. It's very farcical, Britishy humor, but with some of the greatest music that's out there. The folks that wrote this play, Aarons and Flaherty, also wrote Ragtime, Seussical, Once on the Island. So the music is very rich, it's very beautiful, and it goes along with this incredibly funny farce of a story. It almost feels like a melodrama. It almost feels like a murder mystery, because there is somebody that's murdered and we have to figure out who it is. So if you like that style, it's very campy, it's very broad, it's very bold. You're really going to love this piece. So come and join us for that. We open up on the 18th of October, and it plays through November 16th. So we play every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30, and on Saturday matinees they start at 3:30. Tickets are $20 for adults, $17 for senior citizens and students, and $15 for children 12 and under. All right, I want to mention a couple things about the two events that are coming up on the square. We've got the Harvest Moon Festival. Like I'd mentioned, we open up our production on October 18th of Lucky Stiff. Harvest Moon Festival is on the 19th and 20th, so that weekend, which is a wonderful event. And then we've got the Candlelight Tour of Homes. So like I'd mentioned, we open up our show, the Granbury Theater Company's gala event will be on December 5th. December 6th is when we do the Candlelight Tour of Homes. If you haven't had a chance to come to that, it's a wonderful event. Lots of great homes have been opened up this year. We're thinking potentially of doing the Opera House as well. And people come in from out of town or from in town, and they take a look at some of these homes that are on the tour. And there are so many great places here. And this is one of the first things that I did when I got here to Granbury, was to take a look at a lot of these homes. And you'll love it, so please come to that event. Divine Wine is a fantastic organization. Josh and Tony and Diane are doing a great job, and all their staff over there. They have karaoke nights that are tremendous, and they do them every 2 weeks. Please go and join. It's just an amazing event. We have a fun time. We generally go after the show and support it, and there are a lot of folks that do. And if you're looking for some fun here in Granbury, that's always a good time. They've got wonderful wine over there, and even if you don't go to a karaoke night, they've got a great staff, and it's a great environment. The wine over there is excellent. So go and take an opportunity to have a good night out over at Divine Wine. So this has been fun. I think we have one more installment that we'll get Elise back in here, and she and I will chat about the artwork if we've got any new artists inside the gallery. We appreciate all your support over there. It's been far better supported from a sales standpoint than I guess we ever imagined. We were putting a gallery up there because we wanted to have another use for the facility, and there are wonderful artists here in Granbury that should have their work shown. We never, I guess, imagined that there were going to be so many people that wanted to buy the work. It's a natural thing, but we're thrilled to have had that. So we'll have Elise back next time. We'll talk for the last time here in Granbury Live. Potentially we'll take a trip over to the Opera House and maybe take some shots inside there, give you a sneak peek of how it's all going. You're going to love it. So get prepared for something that we feel is going to just continue the beauty and the culture inside of Granbury and really revitalize what's going on downtown here on the square. So for that I say thank you for your time, and come to the theater, come to the Opera House, come and support the arts, and take care.